Pretend we're a happy couple.
We're on kick too, right? Or no?
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. What is up?
What's up, guys? It is I, Demonic, with the homie Tenna, and in the background we got Z, which was almost on camera, but for whatever reason,
Almost got a reveal today.
yeah,
huh?
almost. You guys almost saw his beautiful, boyish face. I don't know how else to say it.
It's a
my
face.
God.
It's a face only a mother can love, and I'm not lying about that part, which is pretty sad. We are live on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, Twitter, now known as X, but it's Twitter no matter what.
But we're still gonna keep calling it
We're
Twitter.
still gonna keep calling it Twitter. All of the links to the podcast episodes, everything like that, are gonna be listed on the description below. We have a link tree down there. Follow us on Twitter, which mine is slightly off. I don't remember. Yours? Do you remember your Twitter?
The Go Help Yourself podcast
mess
with
up.
2 O's.
The 2 O's, and the letter Z doesn't have one because he's apparently too
He's
cool.
working on it. I'm working on mine too as well. You're ahead of us, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
And just like that, if Mr. Z wants to go ahead and transition to the first topic.
And the topic.
And we are back to my topic. So, well, let me lower
What you
down
got
this.
for us today?
Okay, so have you heard anything about the... Okay, let's put it this way. Haiti. Do you know where Haiti is at?
Yes.
Apparently, Hillary Clinton doesn't, because her foundation was supposed to have that aid that was supposed to be sent to Haiti. Haiti never received it. That's probably what's going on now. That's probably why there's armed gangs taking over Haiti. They're basically
Yeah,
like-
I see something come across my screen about
Yes,
a lot of killings and
they're
chaos
like on the
going over
verge
there.
of like basically overrunning it. Like they're almost there.
who is?
The gang members, I would say the Haitian cartel.
I was
but-
about to say that too.
Yeah. The Haitian cartel are taking over Haiti. So I have a news article right here on Newsweek. Haiti in chaos as armed gangs take over capital. I was going to say U.S. Capitol. U.S. embassy evacuated. The U.S. embassy in Haiti is evacuating some of its personnel from the nation's capital as the rampant gang violence intensifies. Hiding gang violence in the neighborhood near the U.S. embassy compounds and near the airport led to the State Department's decision to arrange for the departure of additional embassy's personnel. The embassy based in Port-au-Prince, whatever
Porta
it is.
potty.
Porta-Potty Prince, said on the statement on Sunday. So let me go a little bit more down here. So it says here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Earlier this month, armed gangs orchestrated jailbreaks from Haiti's 2 largest prisons, demanding the resignation of the Caribbean nation's prime minister. I don't know how to say his name. Ariel Henry. I don't know why that name was so hard to pronounce.
Sorry, you just got something
The
else.
Haitian leader is not currently in the country and is where is he at? He's in the United Nations backed security for he did not say where it was at. So far it says right here more than 4,500 inmates have escaped, including senior gang leaders, the United Nations said last week. Adding to the jailbreaks was a result of the coordinated gang actions against the national institutions. Where does it say? So I was reading on earlier on this that there has been hell of people dead. So this is right here. Since the start of 2024, just under 1,200 people have been killed and nearly 700 others injured in the gang violence, according to the UN. In 2023, almost 4,000 people were killed and another 3,000 kidnapped in the fighting.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because didn't that breakout start a while back? I think you said it too.
The breakout happened like literally basically last week, where they started taking over. They broke into the jail cells and they rescued. They basically let go like almost 5,000 prisoners from the jail. So there's a bunch of bad people that aren't supposed to be out right now. Uh, if you guys have a Twitter, like Twitter's been blowing up with a bunch of like images of people on like dead bodies on fire. There's like just bullets. It's literally a
And barbecue.
and barbecue. Yes, it's literally like a war zone over there. There's they call it the cannibal gangs, but there's some videos, there's some proof that there's a dude literally like there's a guy on fire on the floor, and he's just grabbing his leg and like literally taking chunks of meat out of his leg and eating it. So
that's gross.
I don't know if he's doing that for like to like the theatrics of it, like the intimidation factor of it, or like what, but like it actually looked like he was enjoying that man's leg.
All right.
The people there are trying to hold back. They're trying to like keep their
like fight back, or
they're trying to fight back. But this is what happens when you don't have guns. Like they give them machetes to fight. I mean, obviously, like a sharp stick is better than no stick. But it's still kind of scary. When all you're armed with is a machete, like that close to close.
The thing is, how did it even get like that? Like as far as like military and police force and all that kind of stuff. For something like that to just happen and them not be.
Haiti's been run very, very poorly for the longest time. It's not been a good place to live.
With all the weather disasters, and I know it's been a couple years since they've been going through a lot of stuff.
Yes, it's not like. How would I say it? As our former president described it, as a shithole, basically, But no, it's been a while where like
that's a description.
I guess they're trying to fight over like because it's very corrupt. It's not a good place. So
definitely nothing like America.
Exactly. It's been like this for a while, and I guess it just popped off now. And I don't know if it's the gangs that are trying to overtake it because
it's corrupt, or they're the ones that's been corrupting it and they just took over.
Either or, it could have been right there. I probably should have done more research, but
yeah, it said a couple hours ago that the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken announced an additional $100 million to finance the deployment of multinational force to Haiti to try to help stop the violence, along with some other Caribbean leaders, which is crazy. That's cool.
Well,
like not cool isn't the bad thing,
right?
Like,
the guy that's taking over right now, his name is Jimmy something, but they literally, his name is Barbecue.
Why?
Because he barbecues people and eats them. That's that guy.
That makes sense.
That guy is the one that barbecues them, sets them on fire, and eats them. There's it's crazy though, because there's there's hundreds of dead bodies everywhere. I was watching stuff on the news where they were talking about how like it's starting to warm up there in Haiti. So the temperature.
I thought you were making like a barbecue joke.
Right? No, but it's starting to warm up over there. So all the decomposing bodies are basically
gross.
Onto like overtime now.
Definitely nobody's gonna be cleaning that.
Basically, so like they're saying that like when they walk out, it's just like that stench of decomposing bodies just like hits them, and like
that's gonna cause diseases and stuff too.
There's still U.S. citizens over there that haven't been evacuated, so that's its own thing right there. There's people from other nations still over there that are trapped over there. Like they said, the prime minister wasn't in the country when this uprising happened, so he's in a safe place, which I mean, I guess good for him, but go and help your people out. At least do what Zelensky did.
So as of right now, we have the war in Gaza, right? And then
we got the war in Gaza,
and then Haiti.
We got Gaza. We have Ukraine. We have Haiti, but Haiti's more like a I guess you'd call it a civil war. Like
that's what Gaza and then would call it, and Ukraine would call it too, because they're right next to each other. They're fighting.
I really wouldn't call that a civil war, but civil war is more of an internal.
They're saying it's its own stuff, even though it's It's kind of. I don't want to say the same thing, but
we have the China. We still are waiting for China to attack Taiwan. I don't know why they haven't attacked them yet. We still have that conflict going on.
They'll probably pick up after you see the U.S.'s forces dispersed out.
Right, and then on top of that, then we have the United States versus Canada. I'm hoping that happens because it's just Canada, bro. Like they think they're all cool with their maple syrup and their little maple leaf and all that
good stuff,
and they're way too happy. Or not happy, sorry, they're way too polite.
A lot of maple hated going on.
It is, which there shouldn't be.
The only thing I would say is just the Canadian bacon thing. That's about it. That's just ham.
So yeah, exactly, ham. I thought you were going to defend Canadian bacon right now. No, Canadian bacon is just ham. And so this is why I'm thankful for our Second Amendment and the opportunity that we have to own guns to defend ourselves, because these people right here, they can't rely on their government anymore. They can't rely on the police force because they're doing their own thing. It's just gang violence that is being it's gang violence upon their own people. A lot of these people are just civilians that have nothing to do with this. But they're bad people. Like I said, they were in jail. They were in jail for a reason, and now they're out in the streets. They're murdering the people. They're eating the people. It's very, very bad. Like I said, there's this armed militia that is armed just sadly with only machetes. Machetes can only do so much. I guess like I said, it's still a sharp stick is better than no stick, but you'd rather have a stick that throws a lot of sticks through you. I
mean, even El Salvador put away 85% of all the people.
El Salvador did do that right there. Maybe they should take a page out of the.
Maybe they should go help Haiti out.
They should, but yeah. So this is it's almost like it's telling us that we should be thankful that even though there is tensions here, even though there's a lot of tensions here and all this, at least we still have our democracy. We have our
basic rights.
Exactly, we have that right there. We have our own basic civil liberties.
And our gangs are semi-controlled.
Our gangs are very semi-controlled, especially if you go to the big cities and they're not as controlled. But then again, here in America, you have a lot of gangs too. You have you got the Bloods, the Crips, you got the MS-13, you got the cops, you got the politicians, you got the 3-letter agencies. Damn, we have a lot of gangs here. that is crazy.
Those gangs are on our side.
There was this one picture that I saw also of this guy that I thought I was gonna see it right here. It's really cool. There's this freedom fighter over there that is all kitted out with his battle rifle and a sling bag and all that.
Over there in Haiti, or
over there in Haiti. I wish I could. I wish I had the picture.
A freedom fighter from over there, one of our people went over there.
I don't know, to be honest. It's just a random picture that that is out there. Boom, there it is. I'll show you first. Look at that. Look how badass that guy looks.
Pointing at nothing, probably.
Right?
Definitely not looking at the militia or anything.
Boom! Look at that.
Gotta love that blurry photo.
Is it blurry? It's fine. They don't need a. They don't need a high quality version.
Well, it was super cool. Just you guys missed it.
Exactly right. So there's uproars everywhere going on. If that were to happen in the United States, which I don't think that is not that blurry. It really is. That's a 308, by the way. That's a beautiful rifle. Anyways, if it were to happen here in the United States, do you think we have the capability of stopping it here? If civil unrest were to happen like that, basically if the gangs were to take over, do you think we as a society, as our law enforcement, the FBI, CIA, and all that, do you think they'll be able to squash it? And remember, this is let's just say at least half of the people started this uprising.
I would say to an extent, I definitely think we don't have enough, in any of the forces to do that. If they contact military, it's definitely going to be a big help, but I think it's just going to be too much dispersed forces. It's going to be chaos. It'll be good. And if that happens, then I'm pretty sure if I was one of these other hating countries, that I would come in and that would be the time to take advantage of America. So
that's true.
So which hopefully that would stop it. And the gang's like, hey, yo, aim at them, not us.
Right. I have another question for you though.
Go ahead.
So if this were to happen, what side would you be on?
Which side would I be on?
What side would you be on?
As far as what, gangs versus
people? Cops? Well, not necessarily the people. I mean, I'll go there later. But like, if there was like a civil uproar versus for like, let's just say the way how politicians are handling, the economy, right? Let's just say if the economy got so bad to where like you're paying like $50 for like a rotisserie chicken or something like that, right? And like there was like civil
That's a good deal, man. $50. You know how
like,
much it is
I
now?
remember when they used to be $5,
right? Like, would you like? Is that enough for you
trying
to
get me to do something crazy?
Speaking to the mic?
Say you're trying to get me to do something crazy.
No, I'm being honest. Like what if like what would it take for you to join the coup?
to join the bad guys?
Yeah, if there was another January 6th,
it would have to be a lot of like, well, I guess killing your own people and a whole bunch of like a lot of corruption. Not just things that we could have like vote on and avoided and whatnot if we participated more, And I'm definitely gonna have to try to find like the best way possible. I'm not gonna just conform to either side. Always try to figure it out a different way. But unless it was like a lot of crazy corruption where you actually have to stand up to them, But as far as like money and stuff like that, like I don't see no benefit to just start killing people and attacking them. That's not going to get your way, and then that's only going to cause other stuff down the line. Like,
now, what if there was civilians that were siding with
the gangs,
with the politicians, right? And now they were making it like you got to get through us to get to them. Then what do you do?
I'm just gonna try to do the best way possible. I'm not sure, like I'm not trying to kill them, but if I got to defend myself, I'm gonna defend myself. I don't really see no.
Because
I'm gonna shit my pants so hard, they're not gonna want to eat me.
And then start flinging it at them. Right, then they're gonna shoot you.
That's the main reason why we have a Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is to be a well-regulated militia to go against the tyrannical government. So that is the original, Second Amendment like phrasing right there. So like I'm trying to see like if we were to do the whole Second Amendment as it is pertaining to be, like we're actually trying to overthrow the government because of, for whatever reason. I'm just trying to pick up.
If they raise taxes on
just trying to fill out the room, that's all I'm doing.
If they raise taxes on my tea, that's
you know what? That's a very good one.
I'd have enough.
Yeah, that's that.
And you know what's crazy though, because if that's
there was a whole nation because of that. There was a whole nation born because of that right there.
What would be the equivalent to today's time of like raising the price on what? What would it be? What would it take for people to just overthrow it?
Coffee, alcohol, probably.
No, that goes up every year. Nobody cares. And then look at Budweiser.
You know what?
I guess because there's more of an addiction, so people will pay crazy prices.
I think it would be gas.
Actually, that would make sense because that's what stirs people up all the time anyway.
Say it again?
That's what stirs people up all the time anyway.
Yeah, I think it would be gas. If you're paying like very like
a flat fee across the board everywhere too.
Yeah, and like because you need gas on your vehicle to go places.
If they paid like a little bit higher than California prices everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Imagine California prices everywhere. Holy shit. That sucks for us. But so if it was, I think there would be a national uproar for the prices of gas because gas is what you need to fill up your vehicle to go to work to make the money. So now if you're spending,
and it's not a drug, and when it's a drug, people get addicted. They'll pay high prices for it. But
yeah, exactly. So like if you're basically working just to put gas in your car to go to work, just to put gas in your car, like I think that's the and then on top of that too, like right, so there's gas, and there's probably if they're gonna tax the gas, they're gonna have to tax the diesel. So now that everything in the economy is gonna go up because of truckers, like now they got to start putting in the extra money for their fleet, So that's how I see. Like that would be the Tea Party of today.
Yeah, that's been on the rise for like a long time.
Well, because they're trying so hard to push electric vehicles. They've been trying to, and Z fell for it. He fell for that propaganda.
If it works, it works.
What do you think, Z? Like, if there was a what would it take
for you? What would it take you
to
try to overthrow the government?
Yes. What is your
speaking to the mic really well?
What is your Me Too
movement? Announce your real name.
It would be the Crunchyroll subscription. If that price ever increased more than $50 a month.
More than 50, you'd go to 50.
I'd go to war for 50. Hey, people got mad. You know how much the increase was on the tea?
I would stop at 20.
Wait, do you know how much the taxation was on the tea?
How much was it?
I think it was.
Well, that was back in the day when it was worth more. What was
that's the same thing.
I think it was somewhere between 5 to 10%, right?
Yeah, Crunchyroll started at $3 a month, and it's pushing 20 now. A guy.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's because anime is all over the world now.
Wasn't it free?
They're trying to get greedy.
They
had a free version.
Have,
they had a free version, but it didn't give you much, and that's when they didn't have much anyway.
Wasn't this little uproar about the whole Crunchyroll thing where like they're charging so much, but yet they don't want to update their interface or something like that?
Yeah, they did that too, and they like what they.
I don't know.
They bought Funimation. Funimation was better, and then they just they finally updated it. But
what would it take, man? Because every time something happens, people
what would it take you?
You're like, it's not gonna, dude. The moment they start mandating vaccines, that's gonna cause the end of this. That's gonna cause a collapse.
I'm talking about,
and it didn't work.
Like,
and then like
Hep
once
2,
they force
Hep
you
3,
to start like eating
ABC.
like vaccinated food, that's what's gonna cause it. And nothing has made people like break. Not the chemtrails, not the potential election frauds, not the people that are disappearing.
There's too much of a trade-off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have to give up a whole lifestyle.
So you would think it's
That's why I think gas would be the one, because that's something that you're going to interact with so much more.
You give out a lot of examples. Z, what's your main one that's going to cause you to want to
I don't know,
overthrow the
because
government?
it's going to be something stupid. I guarantee you it's going to be something stupid. After all the things that we've been through, after all the fights that we fought, it's going to take like toilet paper disappearing from the shelf. Something stupid is going to cause... That's it. That's the final straw. I'm gonna attack.
His special sight's being gone.
Who's coming with me? I wish I had my AI face. Damn it, you guys would love it. I'm gonna get you. You bomber.
Next week you will have a face next week. Hopefully,
Why does Tenna's mic look like a torpedo next to his lips?
Like a giant torpedo, right? It's like half my face.
Man, it sounds really good. Sorry. All right, so yeah.
So you have a lot. You
talking
you
about
don't
the
have
torpedoes
that
from
one,
7-Eleven?
So you don't have that one thing that will cause you to try to overthrow the government.
Why don't you guys put it in the chat? What would cause you to want to overthrow the government?
Why can't you answer a simple question?
Because I don't know the
damn
answer
politician.
to it. Let the people out there answer. I don't know what it would be.
That's good for people to ask too, but while they do theirs, you can do yours. If not, we're going to default you to Crunchyroll, which is not a good example.
Yeah, mine would be the gas prices, and
I don't think so, because they almost went to like $7, and it's still like
okay. But imagine $7 nationwide.
Have to be drastic.
Everywhere.
But Hispanic
imagine
people
like
always put
$10.
$20. It doesn't matter. It's always 20 on the tank, and then I'll deal with it later.
I mean,
I think it's got to be. Damn, what could it be?
Dude, during COVID, you couldn't go outside, and that wasn't
because it's got to
enough.
be something that'll make you not want to use something that you're comfortable with.
That's the problem.
Because
you couldn't go outside, and people were cool with that.
I mean, there's a lot of.
Well, there was a reason for that. It wasn't like a dumb reason.
Yeah, it was a dumb reason.
Makes
That's
sense.
the problem. What
it makes
Explain
sense.
it to me. Make it make sense.
It's the same thing that they've been doing for years before COVID. If you're sick, don't fucking be around people. It's just people don't pay attention.
But
Just
it's
like
fun.
people don't get upset about that is people don't pay attention. People don't care. You should be looking out for people. No, I want to make a big deal about it because I'm being told what to do. That's
it can't be the aliens. It can't be the atomic weapons. It can't be that
the
they're
aliens
taking
should
your
be bringing
guns
us together.
It can't be that they want you to pay a tax for having a gun, even if it was a pre-owned one. That
I
your
would
family
say,
gave.
it would be a drastic increase of gas, or if they actually took guns.
Homes are more expensive than ever.
If they actually took guns away and people started like fighting and killing each other over that,
like Haiti, because that's not stopping them.
Well, I mean, I would definitely do an uproar if they did come for the guns, because that's when they take away the guns, that's when they're gonna do all the tyrannical shit. That's when
wait a minute. Let me throw a wrench in there. What is this tyrannical?
What size?
See, it didn't take him much.
What is it?
He just threw a wrench.
What do you mean?
Well, what is your tyrannical shit?
The tyrannical government, where a government now starts imposing their
he said vaccines.
Wait. Go ahead. Keep going. I want to hear this.
So
I'm cooking right now.
Let's just say that they say, okay, now you have to only have one child. Like for instance, China, like the one child.
Isn't that what they're doing right now?
No.
By euthanizing you whenever you get vaccinated?
That's what they're doing to you. You're the one that got vaccinated.
Didn't you just eat meat?
Actually,
you know what the cows have? Vaccines. You're getting it one way or another, buddy.
So that would be...
They take the COVID vaccine.
That would be a big deal. Like,
yeah, your food got vaccinated. Right?
What would be another one where you can't basically... Well, I mean, technically you can't freely think now because you're being told what to think and
listen
when
to us.
to think.
That's the media, though.
Listen to us. We're telling you that they're doing that. Think what we're saying.
And then let's say, for instance, they're going to go around trying to round up, like, I don't know, your firstborn son to draft him into a war that you're not okay with. That's why...
That's why you only have daughters.
I mean, that's why I only have daughters, but
not you. I mean, like I'm talking.
No,
to
no,
the
I
public.
know what you mean. You're talking hypothetically.
Yeah,
but
always have daughters.
yes, exactly. Always
They'll make you money from online business and commercials.
do what China did, and only. Oh no, never mind. Those only women. It was only boys.
So it was okay when people back in the day got drafted, but it's not okay now.
No, it's never been okay. We got drafted into a war that technically we didn't even need to go to. So,
but isn't that interesting though? That in every estimation, the World Economic Forum, you shall have nothing and you'll be happy. That it's an organization of like the richest, most powerful people that get together so they can plan out the future to make it more successful.
The Illuminati.
But they all talk about. No, but this is not a secret. It's open. You know, the media literally goes and records. Like, it's not a secret. But what they're saying is that the biggest problem is overpopulation. And that has to be mended with. Otherwise, there will be more war, more instability, more, issues with climate and food.
It'd be the government's fault instead of people having a lot of unprotected sex and having babies and not staying around for them.
Well, their solution to it was always...
Spartan 300.
How do I say it without sounding?
Come on, go ahead and say it.
Their solution to this problem was making sure that everybody was not able to have kids. I'm trying not to like.
So, and what would you call that?
Euthanized,
castration,
neutered, spayed.
Yeah. So through food, water, medicine, vaccines, all the different ways that they can to prevent people from overpopulating, because they're worried about the earth. The population should be at 500,000 for the world to be like sustainable and happy.
500,000.
Yeah, per nation.
Okay, I was about to say we're a little off per nation. Wait, but there's a lot of nations. I don't know about that. Well, actually, no.
They had there's a couple clips out there of them talking about this. It's pretty insane. I don't know if it would actually happen, but
and that's why we're going to be making that
fake
meat, artificial meat.
Right. So another one would be like, let's just say if they, they came.
What would you rather do? Like have limited amount of babies for everybody, or eat fake meat so that we can survive?
None, because I have guns and they can't tell me what to do.
You're just gonna do whatever you want.
They can. You pay your taxes, don't you?
Yeah.
And we're not gonna get into that on the podcast if I pay my taxes or not.
You guys know the truth.
He pays.
FBI, open up. Do I pay them?
Like, what's up, Bob? How you doing?
My FBI agent is texting me now, telling me why.
It says pay your taxes.
So that's the reason why we need the guns, so we don't end up like Haiti. And if we do end up like Haiti, then I guess we're just gonna have to start eating people.
I don't know who Katie is, but people keep talking about how she's a cannibal.
Cause she eats you up.
She has cannibals in her.
And for that right there, that is the end of my topic, and that is basically we need guns to kill Haitians. Wait, I mean, what? Wrong one. They're very special. They're the special ones.
And now we're back deep in the mind.
Do they hear your butt?
I hope not. If they probably see it.
They definitely
see us. All right. Well, I got two things I want to talk about. Mainly just one a day. I just wanted to talk about hobbies and a sense of peace. So I wanted to give some examples of why we need hobbies. You know, I've been noticing a lot of people nowadays, I don't know, maybe even back in the day, but a lot of people aren't doing the hobbies that they want to do or used to do. And I feel like if people just do that, it would make them a whole lot better. So I asked Google to give me some, reasons why, people should be doing their hobbies. All right.
So you asked AI.
I asked AI.
What a human should be doing.
Exactly.
To make the humans happy.
Nobody knows how to
AI.
Nobody knows how to treat a robot better
toaster.
than a robot. All right. So one thing it'll do is it'll give you stress relief. As engaging in hobbies can provide a break from daily stressors and promote relaxation and enjoyment, which I definitely agree. Self-expression. Usually hobbies are things that you want to do just for you. So it's like an outlet for you to let your self out, inner self out, whatever it is. Social connection, because you're going to be going out, meeting people that have the same interests as you. So that's always good. That's like the kind of social environment that you want to be around. All right. Improved mental health. Increased happiness and better work-life balance.
Increased
happiness. That's
penis?
Like one of those things that people. That's one of those things that people don't really have a lot of.
Penis?
No, the happy.
Oh, the hap penis part.
No, everybody can have those nowadays.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
But yeah, so one of the hobbies that I do, so I wanted to ask you guys what hobbies you do, if it makes you feel any better, or if you haven't done them in a while. So one of the ones I do is I do Gunpla kit building. So it's like, I don't know if you remember the anime Gundam.
Yeah.
The big, mechas and whatnot. So ever since I was a kid, I really liked it. It's almost like, puzzle solving and then creating something. So
right.
You just build those, and I'm on like some groups online where people like paint them, and you can actually create like little scenery and whatnot, which I think is very intense, and I can't do that yet. I can barely paint these things. I can barely build them because they're very tedious and take a long time.
Right.
But I want to get to that. You can custom paint them however you want, repaint them the same way, just like better paint types. And then you can build a scenery just to kind of just reenact something, So that's one of the things I do. It gives me a sense of like,
that's what you do now.
Yeah.
All right.
And I stopped it because one, it's very expensive. Hobbies are expensive, but I do think hobbies are worth it as long as it's not hindering you too much, because it's something that you like to do just for you,
right?
Instead of doing things for everybody else,
right?
A lot of people I know, past relationships, they do like reading. People like to read. Apparently, video games is a hobby I do. It's been a while. I don't know about you. I know you play. Do you still play?
No, it's been almost 4 years now that I haven't played video games.
Yeah,
so literally ever since my daughters came, I don't play games anymore.
It makes it hard. I think when
I somehow became this thing that people call like adults,
adulterous.
An adulterer.
I don't know where I became one of them. Like I just
Oh, so that means you can't have a hobby anymore.
Yeah, like okay. My new hobby is like I got a pamphlet for AARP, so I'm thinking about signing that up. And like.
See, that's that balance. It's hard to be a present parent, but I definitely think you do need some hobby time.
I honestly,
so that's like when I would play games, it's like you can't really do it so much right after work because you got to come home to the children and they've missed you all day. They don't know what's going on. But I used to do it like when my kids would sleep like late at night. So I'm like, cool, now it's me time.
Right.
I got like an hour or two. Should I sacrifice sleep or do my hobby? And then
right.
It's like Russian roulette right there.
My hobby usually also goes to sleep when the kids go to sleep, so then I can't do that hobby anymore.
What's his name?
His name it's Michael.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael.
No, I used to have hobbies, so I used to draw a lot. I used to.
Oh yeah, I saw some of your posts.
Yeah, so I used to draw a lot, and my drawings took forever. Like they take roughly between
girthy and
8 to 14 hours and multiple sessions because I just took my time drawing on it. So like, if I ever stop the drawing and try to go back at it, like I lose interest in it.
It's kind of hard to do. I think that might be like ADD. I feel like I do the same. Like I'll do something and then I'm like, all right, it's done. And then I'll come back and I'm like, it's just, I can't really continue where I left off. It's just like, I got to feel it or whatnot.
Right.
But are you still doing that? I know you got back in a while back. Have you been, I think you were getting into tattooing too?
I started tattooing again, which is cool, but it's also very tedious. It's cool to do, but I guess I have to be interested in the piece that I'm going to do. If I'm not interested in it, then I kind of don't want to do it.
That would be like for yourself or even for the person or
like for the person, like if they like, I did the that One Piece one. I keep on forgetting what person that is. It's the one with 3 swords.
Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro. I did that one right there. I did the Gears of War one.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, those were okay. Like they were quick to do, but now like. I think the only hobby that I do right now is just basically the one hobby would be like that I don't skip is working out. So that would be considered my hobby. Another hobby would be like that I do with my daughters is like we go walking.
Seeing it as a hobby is actually good because that's fitness. That's something that's important. But seeing it as a hobby is gonna make you want to do it more.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah, no, I honestly basically dropped almost all my hobbies when my daughters were born because. Right now, I want to spend the most time with them as possible while they're young and they actually want to spend time with me.
Yeah. But at the same time, the only thing I recommend is like a hobby that you like is something you can do with them. I actually did like the last time I actually did a kit was with my daughter and it was really, really cool and she digged it. I've been thinking about trying to go to like
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Go ahead.
For the people on Rumble and on Twitter, if you guys wanted to comment down below, what are your hobbies and
on X?
On X,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
On all the platforms.
Producer would have been angry.
On all the platforms.
Let us know some of the hobbies that you're into. Something that you recommend. It kind of gives you a sense of yourself.
Remember, guys, cyberbullying politicians online is a hobby as well.
It's called trolling. That's Z's main hobby.
Or eating meat that barbecue made.
Yes.
Before I continue that, I'm gonna go ahead and give a list of 20 examples of common hobbies.
20?
Yeah, 20. So I'm gonna read them fast. Reading. Gardening,
I mean, when you get
painting,
the top 5,
playing a musical instrument, cooking, baking, hiking, camping, photography, knitting or crocheting, playing sports.
I love knitting.
Writing, woodworking, playing video games. See, we made it, guys. Dancing, fishing, yoga, or meditation. What? That's health, but I guess it becomes a hobby later. Traveling. Damn, that's expensive. Learning. I see like the negative in all these things. Learning a new language. All right, that's volunteering, playing board games or card games, and collecting. Which I'm surprised collecting is not higher.
Most serial killers are collectors.
My dad used to collect the Hot Wheels.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I'd be very mad because he'd buy some cool ones and I wanted to play with them.
Yes. I hate that. I used to have a friend that used to collect the micro machines. You remember those ones?
Oh, yeah.
Those ones are so cool. I don't know why. But yeah, and that's another thing. I collect cards. It's been a while because it does get pretty pricey, but it just, feels good. I feel like most of these things come from kind of like a nostalgia childhood kind of thing going on. At one point we stopped when it's like maybe we shouldn't have stopped.
Right. My collections just became a lot more, I guess, necessity to life. So my collections went from like Pokemon cards and all that right there to now I collect like gold, silver, guns, bullets. Food.
And you use those on the daily.
On the daily, yes. I want my property values to stay at a low rate.
Yeah,
so
like
every night, I just go out there and it's like, at least 5. I just want them
and
to know what's
that's
up.
good. I think that's good as far as because it's going to help you out financially and in the adulting world. But I do think you should keep some other hobbies. Other hobbies going on, like your drawing. Your drawing is really well, and you're gonna tattoo me like a lot. So
I'm gonna tattoo you.
Keep practicing. Yeah, everywhere. You are.
That white ink is so crazy, right? It disappears right when it dries.
So on your Gundams, how much do they usually cost per Gundam?
It varies on the
because it's like Legos because like the Legos are like expensive. They're like $300
Legos
for like a
are
kid.
expensive.
Yeah,
Legos are expensive. No, they're expensive like that too.
I remember my dad didn't want to buy me like the 200 piece set of Lego, like the Lego box right there, because like that shit was like $50, and
then
like
started smoking afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Now that shit's like they're expensive, dude. Like I saw the
crazy.
The Millennium Falcon one. Holy shit, dude!
My kids was into that for a while, and yeah, those get pricey, and they don't hardly go on sale, and even then they're very expensive. But now the kits are too as well. They do have like cheap ones like $5-10 or whatnot to get started, all the way up to like $300. Now like because of 3D printing, you can do a whole bunch of what's that like? Their own custom ones that they go.
He's showing us his penis.
You don't like it?
I can barely see
it. No, it's very to the right.
His hangs to the left. But yeah, they can go anywhere between like $300-400. It gets really cool. But yeah, it does get pricey. And I think like most hobbies, almost like video games, especially as you get older, because we're adulting so much and doing all this stuff, it's like you don't have time, so you just collect things and they're just there.
Oh, dude, nostalgia.
My hobbies basically just became. I switched up my hobbies to revolve around my daughters, basically. So like I guess I could say like I do have hobbies still, but it's more like not hobbies of my own to do anymore. Like the only one thing I basically do is like just like work out, but everything else now, like I said, revolves mainly around my family.
Well, what are their hobbies? Say it
again?
What are their hobbies?
Their hobbies,
Coco
melon, make the biggest mess in their room and not clean it up because it's so boring. That seems
to be a common hobby.
Yeah, it's so boring to
Dude,
clean
I got
up.
that hobby.
That's crazy. Me too. I was talking about me, not kids.
Yeah.
They like to like when I make something to eat, they want to be right there.
You got a point. It is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm like, well, then you should have made the mess. Like, it's hard to teach them. Okay, once you're done playing with one thing, put that away, and then play with the other.
I feel like he's talking to me right now.
Yeah.
It's so weird because like
hurts.
now I understand what my parents went through. Now I understand why they beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Like
until it happens to you, man, we don't learn like that.
Yeah. So like that right there. Another one that I want to pick up with my daughters. Right now they're kind of young, but Z showed he talked about this app of the trail, and there's like 2 trails like right here close to where we live. That's and cool. Like we on my days off I take them walking So we'll just go walking so they can get their exercise and walk around, right? So we walk almost 2 miles, and like by the end of it, they're hating me, but we
That's
walk.
good. That's gonna help them out a whole lot.
Exactly.
That's
So
something we
there's
forget to do.
there's these two trails around close to where I live where they're also like roughly 2 miles. So like I know for a fact like once they get a little bit older, we're gonna like go like do trails more mountain stuff. Like go out there like in the wilderness. It's like you know. Are you gonna get eaten by a bear today? Maybe. Who knows?
See, that's pretty cool, Abby, if you're into that too. But like
getting eaten by a bear?
I would
Yes.
definitely do the drawing if I was
Sacramento.
you, like because that's something that so that they can see that makes you happy, and then they can help them push towards their own hobbies that make them happy.
My younger one loves to draw, so I buy her like papers. I buy her like stuff like that to draw because she likes to draw. I want to draw with them, but I don't want to draw my drawings with them because I get too much into my drawings, and then they're gonna want to color over my drawings, and I'm gonna get mad because
it takes a little sacrifice. That's what I had to do. Like keep it cheap or just know it. Like when I did the same thing. Like I wanted to give my daughter her own kits because I'm like these are really cool. I want to give you mine.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'll just give her like my cheapest one or like the one that I was like, all right, the cheapest one to replace. I'm like, I didn't want to, but I was like, let's do it.
Right.
Because it does give them a sense of like trust and sharing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do, it's like, it took me this long to get these and now I got to share them with you.
Right.
But, if you think about it, it's really, really good, And I try to like actually find what kind of hobbies that they're interested in. So I don't not only share mine, but also like what's something that I see that they're kind of into. Like my daughter is very artistic. Like she's definitely into drawing. She's into dancing. Like she kind of messes around with all of them. She definitely got ADD like me, but yeah, so I try to like, harp on that. My son right now, he's definitely into chess, puzzle solving and a huge gamer. So it's like, I'm trying to get him on those. If you're going to do something, try to capitalize on it or at least expand on it. I don't want them to let those go to waste because I know like I stopped doing hobbies for a long time, and you miss people that you're around that you have like-minded stuff.
I miss gaming. I miss like talking so much shit on 12-year-olds. That was the pinnacle of my life right there.
But the problem is that a lot of these hobbies are tied to communities, and communities are like your lifeline to the world. And as you get older, you get less community and more like family oriented. So what do you do?
And that's why you got to do that. You got to find that balance, because when I feel like, or at least personally in my relationships, like when you stop doing something that makes you, it causes like a little problem. You keep sacrificing for others or your family. Like it's good. Yeah, you have priorities, but at the same time, you have to take care of you. You are a priority as well. And if you're not able to do those with your family, which is something you should try to do, a lot of people incorporate that, and the whole family does it.
Too young, or I think my oldest is still too young to shoot a gun, so we gotta wait on that a little bit.
As soon as that happens, you taking her out to kill a deer or what?
You can take them
definitely.
You can give them fake guns, all that kind of stuff.
Dude.
They can go with you.
I mean, that's true. I've been kind of wanting to get them those little gel blasters, but they're going to turn them against each other, and there's going to be a lot of crying.
But why don't you do like what's her name? That Hannah Barrett. This is like popular.
Oh yeah, that. What's
right. So why don't you get her into like farming and doing like work around the house? Like.
Oh no, they're doing all that right there.
Well,
like,
are you aiming for that though?
Yes and no. Like they're gonna have their chores to do outside and stuff like that. I'm gonna be building a chicken coop in the back pretty soon in a while, and they're gonna have to be like like turning all the bedding and stuff like that. So they're gonna have their chores. I'm making a garden also, so they're gonna learn how to garden and like so they're gonna have their little outside chores and all that. Because hopefully later on in the future, like my plan is like I want to have like acreage. And with all that acreage right there, you need to maintain it, So
yeah,
that at least that's what I'm hoping right there.
That's something I'm trying to get my daughter into. It's kind of hard to get boys out. Boys just want to focus on a couple things, but
right. And I feel like if I do that, then they're gonna automatically get her accent. Hannah's accent. That very thick
I thought you were talking
accent.
About their mom or something, like some type of racist thing.
No. I think that's what happens. Like if you start doing regular, chores and farming and stuff like that, you automatically get like a very, very thick Southern accent.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't know.
So how do you balance?
That's how it works.
As they're getting older, there's so much negativity on the internet, especially when they discover things like Instagram or X. Because you said eventually they're gonna have to get on the internet, right? So you said maybe around 18.
I would think I will start introducing them around 16.
But if they've never seen the internet before, it's gonna be like a rush of dopamine. Like I can learn this, I can do this. Like, you learned about the dark parts of the internet early on. Our generation did.
Live leak.
And a lot of the kids did when they grew up with tablets. Those tablet kids learned about the evil and the dark side,
right.
the adult side.
What do you guys mean by introducing
that?
to the internet?
Okay, I think he means more social media.
I think I know what I mean.
No, so what is that you mean?
Sorry about that, Z. Don't talk for him like that. Go ahead, Z. Right. I asked you a question.
Apologies.
Yeah, that's right.
He goes, but yeah, I meant social media.
Yeah. No, I was just like, well, the internet means two things for me. The information out there and then the social media aspect of it. But the information out there is what you should be most afraid of because you don't necessarily have to find it on social media websites. You can run into somebody or something that looks truthful. Like there's a lot of videos like on Twitter or X, that's showing you or talking about conspiracy theories, the chemtrails and all that. There's a grain of truth to all of that, but you learn to be either a believer of everything and be afraid for your life, every moment of your life, or you learn to be a healthy skeptic and be able to like differentiate between somebody who's being honest or someone who's lying. What's your plan to teach them that? To be like skeptical about things, but also be willing to believe when it makes sense to.
Damn, I guess it would be just do your own research. Like that
just like that.
I mean, because what other way is there? Like other than like like if you find something that's interesting, for instance, like why are there chemtrails up in the sky? Like do your research on it. Don't just take one video and take it as credible. Like be like, why is this? Why is that? Basically, like question everything.
Yeah, Uncle Z's last episode about truth and fact.
Yes, exactly. Like as long as it comes out of Z's mouth, it's true. That was basically the whole summary of his segment last week. But no, like I guess it would be like it's really hard because there is a lot of misinformation out there, and I like to troll that on Twitter whenever I find it, and it's so funny because people get engaged on there and they're like
yeah,
trolling on Twitter is so fun.
Why don't you share a story with us?
Which one? I have so many. There was a guy that got mad because I there was a guy that I was debating on Twitter because there was
having a conversation.
There's a road with a bike lane, and a car was parked in the guy's bike lane. And you know how bicyclists can be like dicks, right? So like he just goes in between like two cars and like starts like like hitting the cars.
Wait,
right?
The pedal bikes or the motorcycle bikes?
I don't know. This is a POV, so it could have been whatever. I pretended it was my bike. I pretended it was my bike. That's what you do with POVs.
I always pretend it's my bike.
Exactly. So I just they commented. I forgot what the post, the original post title was, but I commented. I'm like, well, he's in a bike lane, and then this guy comments back. He's like, well, he's in a road, so roads are for cars. And I'm like, yeah, but
someone went to school.
Yeah, right? I'm like, but it's a bike lane for the bike. And then he started going like roads are for cars, and I'm like, but bike lanes are for bikes.
So far, both of you correct.
Yeah, and so then he started going like, well, he's like, no, because roads are for cars. Those are just like white lines. And I'm like, okay, well, if they're just white lines, then why don't you drive on the opposite of the road? Because those are just white lines. And like it was like a lot of shit talking, basically just saying like he's on the bike lane. It's for bikes.
I think you won that one.
No,
but then you lost like an hour of your life. So I mean,
that's completely fine.
So did you really win?
I won because I didn't win, so I call that a win. But no, it's like there's a lot of videos that circulate and which I like to find also because like there's on Twitter there's a lot of them that have like that fake.
I see you found another hobby.
Yes, trolling on Twitter is very fun and I like it.
It's way better than drawing.
Yes, it is.
The people on Rumble have asked, what will be the first social media account that you have your daughters use?
None.
You have to. I mean, there's going to be one. Either they
get
one behind
that kind of goes really quick.
No, I'm forbidding them from having any social medias, and if they want a social media, they're basically going to have to be 18. And then
what about Disney's new social media?
You got to.
I'm not letting them have any social medias.
I feel like you got to introduce them before somebody else is.
I'll talk to them about it. I'll talk to them about it and let them know what's going on with it and all that. And they're obviously going to be curious, but as long as they live in my house, they're not going to have social media.
All right.
I mean, they're obviously going to have their friends, but they're probably going to go behind my back. That's completely fine. I want to protect them from.
You're like, I want them to hate me like my dad.
That's my thing. Like, and if they did, you just have to monitor it. As long as they're in your house and under 18, they can hate you all they want.
That's me talking as of right now. It's obviously going to change in the future, because
so you're wishy-washy. they're gonna get over on you.
Man.
They already do. They already do.
Oh man,
They're
you are such a structure.
He's like, I just like a talk game.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, as of right now, like, I'm very anti social media for them because
I think like it's just got to be managed. All that stuff's good, but everybody uses it as trash as well. So
if it wasn't
a proper way to use
it wasn't for the podcast, if it wasn't for everything that we're trying to do, I wouldn't have basically none of this shit right here.
See, like, something like this is cool. Like we're using it for a benefit, and we're trying to.
Wait, you don't want to have it here? I know somewhere where you can put all this stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Anyways,
but something like when I worked at a call center.
If they're not around anymore.
No, they're still around.
Oh, okay.
I worked at a call center for a carrier, and
but when they called in, would they call in for like emergencies, like
And I say the whole spiel.
Wait, did you do the sexy voice? Did you like, hello, how can I help you?
I did not. I just talked. No, but it was an older gentleman I was talking to, and I don't like. We started talking about life, and then I kind of told him like I was trying to learn to keep my kids away from from technology as much as I can because it's just out there nowadays. Social media, tablets, everything.
See, I'm not anti-technology though.
But you could see it has its problems, because everything is technology, phones, tablets, all that. Like if they have a tablet right now, that's technology, that's information, that's the internet, that's YouTube. YouTube have so many corrupt videos and all these little kid videos.
Not only that, like
people don't know about. Like they would slip them in and have like kid stuff, and then they'll have like subliminal messaging.
They have the
other stuff.
I've seen instances where TikTok has like it's all kids programming, and then to like bypass the algorithm, they have like 3 seconds of a kids thing, and then next thing you know, it's like some guy being decapitated and stuff like that.
And then the titles too as well. A lot of people aim on YouTube and everywhere with the titles because kids subscribe and like without thinking like crazy.
Yep.
Adults don't as much. You get that natural born hater when you get older.
Damn, how come we don't get more of those people? Hey, subscribe and like, dude. What's going on?
They aim for kids. Kids just they just feel like they have to do it.
We're in the wrong industry.
I tell my kids that like, hey, don't like something unless you actually really like something. I think that's like the whole purpose of it. If you're trying to help somebody out, that's one thing. But other than
they're
that,
gonna find that one, and they're gonna be like, oh, this whole channel's about it. So then that's how they subscribe to it.
Yeah, but the gentleman told me, he's like, why would you take away from their culture, from this generation? Like if that's what it's in, that's what they're growing up in. Our time was different. Like, would you like it if somebody would have like put you behind in your generation? So it kind of hit me. I was a little upset that it made sense. So I'm like, all right, it's just, so I learned after that, I was like, it's about moderation, don't let them control that. You just got to actually be a parent and do that thing where they have parental controls and monitor them,
Don't let YouTube be the parent.
Exactly. Instead of, so that's, it's hard, but that's part of the job. You just got to be on it more.
It's more like right now, like they have a phone and a tablet where they are, they watch their YouTube, but we time them also, like like when they come, like
not too much.
Yeah, when we come home after work, they'll be on their phone for like an hour, while we eat, make food, do whatever, and then after that, nope, you gotta get off your phone, get off your tablet, because then you start to cry that you want to go play, and it's already too late, this and that,
because they were on their devices.
Exactly, so like we tell them, I'm like get off the phone and go play. Go in the room, go play.
I tell them like in the morning, I don't want you. I shouldn't be the first thing you do it, even though that's what adults do. I'm like, nope, you're not doing that. Not before bed, because you can have sleeping issues, and only like an hour or two max, if that, during the day.
Right.
But how can you guarantee that they won't get on the phone? Because you want to teach them discipline. What's the best way?
See me like,
what's the best way to teach discipline to a child?
Take it away. And there's also what's that called? Like the parental controls are actually really good. You can really, really lock these if you stick to them.
No. Okay.
Yeah, you actually can.
But the controls are all there in the instance of someone not having self-control enough to get away from it. As an adult, for us, we got so used to it. But how do you start the building blocks to teach a child to have self-control? Like they have to go through painful lessons. Like there's this video of a kid going into an ice bath and he wanted to get out, and his dad was like, "Stay in here." And he's like, "No, I can't." But eventually he learned that discipline. But where do you start? Like, how you guys are two different people. Where would you start to teach discipline?
Well, right now, like I said, we have them timed. It's they get their devices for certain periods out of the day. So like and we basically keep it there. Like it's like I said, an hour and a half the most while we do stuff, and then after that they get off of it. You know, my youngest one doesn't. My youngest one hates it. She hates getting off her tablet. Starts crying. Oh well, cry. You know, go cry in the room and with your toys.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, it's moderation. Like, you have to just manage it. As simple as, like, you know, hold them accountable, because it's gonna take a while. Heck, even adults aren't good at managing their stuff. You know, you just got to do it. You know, it's gonna get them used to that kind of habit. You know, and sticking to it, because I think a lot of us can be a little wishy-washy at times. That happens, you know. Oh no, just one more minute. It's going to be a lot more minutes if you keep doing that. You know, just stick to it. Make them get used to that instead of them getting you used to saying okay, you know, and prolonging it. You know.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to get upset. They're going to, you know, they're probably going to throw a fit, and that's fine. Let them have that. Don't sacrifice, I would say, some of their future just for your supposed sense of peace. Like, oh, they're not shutting up, so I'm gonna just let them, you know, be on it. Like, no, just, you know, be a parent.
The other times that we do kind of cave in a little bit is like if we're extremely busy and like we need to like clean up or do whatever like we have to do, then okay, you know, bend the rules a little bit. You know, like we'll give them the tablet for like an extra 30 minutes, you know, or something like that, you know. But like,
or you can teach them, you know, whatever you're doing, get them involved with that. That's what I would do.
Yes and no. Like,
my daughter would get crazy. Like,
yeah, it just depends. Really, like, it just depends on the thing that we're doing. Like, for instance, like if my wife has like an exam on her computer, or you know, like something like that. You know, like.
Oh, so you don't believe in your kids? You don't think they're smart enough?
No, hell no. They're freaking stupid as
shit.
Just
wanted to know.
All right, they're little kids. All right, my young one still thinks the Grinch is real. All right,
I don't know.
That's how I scare her.
I seen a 4-year-old Chinese kid that knew how to play the piano. So.
Yeah, actually, you can start them really, really young. I think that's one of the things is we get scared, you know, and I feel like we limit our children when we get too cautious.
Oh, and there's another when you said about discipline also,
or our friends.
When you said about discipline, another thing that I'm gonna do with my girls, I'm gonna put them in mixed martial arts.
There you go.
So I'm gonna put them in that right there because like
that is a good discipline too.
My girl's cousin has his girl in mixed martial arts, and this I'm not talking shit, but like this
not feel like you talk shit.
No, I'm really not, but like his daughter was very like cries for like if it, I don't know how to say exactly because like I really don't know her, but like if like very timid, you know, like very like if you like quick story, you know, like we were having my daughter's first birthday party and she was right there. It was her turn, you know, to hit the piñata, you know, and like I'm all like
the piñata,
beautiful
and
tradition. Like we had we were gonna blindfold her, right?
Beating the life out of a dead animal.
I was playing around. I'm like, hey, you're cheating. You can see, you know, just playing around, right? And she just starts to cry, you know, because like
okay, so she said
yeah. So after that, after he put her in BJJ, now like she's like
what's that?
Completely like did a 180, you know, like she actually like listens to him now, you know, like is more disciplined, has that, you know, like that discipline that like training and stuff like that gives you. So
I think that's good when you kind of have other teachers too, because sometimes like it's really hard to teach your kids, and sometimes like they don't listen. It's like they have to be exposed to other stuff out there to kind of want to listen to you more or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think it's always good to kind of have an outside teacher. You know, so that's good.
Yeah. So that's another way of disciplining, but yeah, no, I don't know, just the social media things. That's the downfall of society.
Yeah.
So
when that happens to me, is just, you know, monitor it. I know a lot of people have them young. Like I heard in my daughter's class, they're like 9 years old and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I saw you watching my Snapchat, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, they're not having that. They're like, maybe I will start introducing them to social medias around. I want to say 13, 14, somewhere around there. With obviously
to me, it'd probably be high school. You know,
but you still have to plan those things. You can't just. You have to have a plan for how you're going to introduce them.
Well, yeah, like I said,
then it's going to be like a shock. Like I've been missing all this. I hate my dad. I hate my mom.
Still going to be.
I missed all these years of all this media. Look at all this stuff, this music and anime, and look.
And that's fine.
But you need to be able to be like, honey, I love you. Here's why I don't want you to watch.
They can hate me all they want as long as they don't think they're men. Then you know I did my job. You know that's all I care about.
Boy, that's not. Oh, okay.
It's true. You know, but I mean, like I said, like you can start planning it, but there's really no way of planning it. It all comes as it goes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so
but they're gonna feel like they were homeschooled, like they missed out on a piece of history.
If I can homeschool them, hell yeah, I would homeschool them. Like, screw them.
Okay. Well, that's a whole different mentality, I guess.
So as far as hobbies, that's
we're talking about hobbies.
Yeah, we're talking about hobbies, and making kids can be a hobby, not a very productive. Well, I guess it is.
It is productive.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, right?
Overpopulation.
But, yeah, and a sense of peace, because that's what it gives you. So you know, like not just doing
making kids. Having a sense of peace?
I guess during the time, you know what I'm saying?
Are you sure? Because then you're thinking about it like, I had to
after
perform.
that,
afterwards, you cry and you weep and you.
I had to perform my best, or else you're gonna leave me for Tyrone.
You say I'm sorry.
But do you though?
Do I what?
Apologize after?
Or do you have to perform your best? Nah, but
I need a safe place.
So some of those things can definitely do that. If not, like, you know, why you do those things to you know, I guess harness the inner you and still be yourself, and you know, step away from life and all the responsibilities. You know, another thing I do to like kind of reset me when when I'm overwhelmed or anything is like go for a drive. I don't know about you. Sometimes like I go for a late night drive or a drive, and I just play some music.
Weren't we just talking about how we're gonna overthrow the government because gas prices are too high?
Yeah, see, that's why I'm probably gonna be, you know, paying because I
go for a bike in the bike lane.
But no, yeah. So I do that. You know, do whatever to kind of keep you calm and, you know, give you a little reset.
No one ever says I go for a jog to clear my mind. They just say I'm go for a drive.
I would go for a walk, but
I literally just finished saying that we go for walks. But anyways, go ahead.
Not jogging though.
I think a walk is better. It's that you can't. You know, it's been a while. I think differently if I go for a jog, you know what I'm saying? And opposed to like listening to some music that just hits it when you're on a drive, especially that nighttime. Like, I don't know, it just makes me feel good, you know?
The neighbors know my name. You're like, yeah, baby. It's making me think.
But is there something that you guys do to kind of give you a little reset, pull away from something, calm you down? Work out?
That's mine.
He hasn't done that in a while, though. Look.
I know. I'm getting very flabby.
He's looking like me.
His arms have.
Stop it. No, mine would be just like if I need to, like if I have too much in my head or whatever, like it just has to be workout. Like it has to be something to keep my head like, you know, out of like whatever situation it's in. So the best thing to do is like feel the pain through working out.
Get those shake weights going.
Exactly. Like shake weights. Like I call my shake weights Tyrone and Jamal. But yeah, that's my hobby. That's my go-to.
What about you, Z? What are some hobbies you got, and what's something that gives you peace? Tries to calm you down when you need it.
Silence.
Gives me peace. I swear I thought he was going to say eating.
All right, so
silence gives me peace, and hobbies, I don't know, everything from like reading literal books or listening to audiobooks, researching, figuring things out. Like everybody picks up something they want to do. Like what we're doing here is not impossible for someone else to do, to develop their own podcast, to do live streaming, to do all that.
Are you trying to plug our
but the interesting
production company?
Yeah, so just like Uwu Productions out there if you guys want to get started. But the cool thing is that everything out there is learnable if you have the patience and you learn how you really learn. Like you have to figure out what's the best way for you to digest information. And that to me, like just figuring yourself out is an interesting hobby. It's a good way to kind of center yourself because there's so much going on. Sometimes you feel like especially if you're like a very nostalgic person like me, like if you guys are out there, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you'll wonder like, man, it's been a lot of years. Like, have I made good decisions with my time? And the answer plainly is not all the time, because obviously, but it's interesting because there's so many stories. Yeah. There's stories
right now
timeless.
when you said nostalgia, RIP to the homie, what's his name? I know you know his
Hiro Toriyama.
Yes. RIP.
I mean, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. RIP to Dragon Ball. That news was very sad.
Yeah.
But he's the reason why I have body dysmorphia. And that's fine.
That's the reason why you have not because of the mirrors?
No, not because of the mirrors. Because I wanted to look like Vegeta so bad.
You have a big head just like Vegeta.
That's why I wanted to look like Vegeta.
I mean, you do look like him.
You're in the toilet you're trying to power up.
Exactly. Just like 30 minutes of yelling and, you know, my hair never turned blonde.
Yeah, so I mean, that's it for me. But I like reading, I like figuring things out.
What gives you a sense of peace when you're trying to like calm down, relax?
Like being physically or mentally tired. Like when we go on a hike, for example, that's one of those situations when you get to the top, you're just so happy you got there and you didn't give up that when you sit down, it's just the air feels fresher, life feels like you just feel more alive. It's like one of those things that you miss. Because I know you guys have been doing it every week, but I haven't joined you guys. But that's one of the most beautiful things.
That's actually a really good one. Nature. Yeah.
I would say overall, though, you definitely want to make sure when it comes to hobbies or something with peace, it's actually something you enjoy. It's good to try new things. Don't be afraid of that. But if it doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make you happy. You know, try something else. You know,
I told my wife. Try new things with Jamal, and now I had divorce papers.
I'll tell you what, man. The best hobbies are the ones that don't cost a dime. Not just because you're cheap, but it's just because they really are good.
Yeah, they're way less stressful.
All your hobbies, you know, your Gundams, like you're wrong. Like
no, those are good.
You
hobbies.
should be cleaning.
But those hobbies, okay. I think the thing that makes a hobby amazing is one of two things: the personal physical benefit you get out of it, or the community that's attached to that hobby.
Yeah, and that's part of it.
Like those frisbee throwers, the frisbee disc players or something.
Like
those guys are they all have back problems, and they say it's because they're so athletic.
But yeah, so definitely, look into some hobbies if you're not doing them. Drawing, reading, dancing, all that stuff that they kind of promoted that they made it seem like didn't matter in school when they're like, oh, let's get rid of arts, let's get rid of dance and all that. No, that stuff still matters, especially as you grow older, because we forget to do all those things. And, I feel like we need an outlet. So definitely do those. But besides that, that's all I got for you guys today. We're going to go ahead and move on to Z's in the gut.
The letter Z's.
Sultan.
Oh, that was Mike. You.
Yes.
That sound effect never gets old. Not for me. Okay, guys, I won't take too much time, but I want to
just like that. We're thank you for watching this episode.
Yay. What is leadership? That's the main topic today. Leadership is one of those things that if it goes well, if a country, if a place, if a home, if everything runs well, it's usually due to excellent leadership. And if it doesn't, it's also due to horrible leadership. It's the same thing that can happen anywhere in the world, anytime in history. It's all due to leadership. Whether the person's a monster who got translated by AI to English, or whether you are looking through your life and remembering people that you looked up to, is usually because they had a handle on the way they carry themselves, whether they were rebellious or built up, strong mentality. You always tend to like something about a leader, a strong leader.
At least when they're around you.
Well, Batman's not real, and I love that. He's cool.
Are you sure he's not real?
Well, you've never met him, so.
Well, there was one time I thought I was talking.
You've never
Batman.
seen Elon Musk and Batman in the same room together.
So why don't we say it like this? What do you consider a leadership quality? You can name up to 3. What do you think? And let's start with demonic, because I'm sure he's going to say something. Nope, change my mind. You're not a good leader.
Strong, very headstrong, has morals, and I guess
stop describing Trump.
I was gonna say Cheeto, but so headstrong, has morals, and basically just
I like the morals one.
I would just say like having how would you say like if like knowing like it's almost like protection, like knowing
Protector.
like the what the right from wrong, like don't do this
morals?
or this will happen. Is that the more? I don't think that's morals, but like more like a for danger and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
awareness.
I guess maybe awareness, yeah, but like protection, like so.
Protector.
Headstrong, morals, and protector.
It's pretty good.
Okay, headstrong, morals, and protectors. Okay, what about you, Tana? What do you think?
It's funny because I actually did this probably like 2 weeks ago. So I had like 8 or 9. So I'm gonna try to remember some, but. Definitely protector is one of them. Provider. And there's so many, but I'm going to go with compassionate, just trying to be understanding of everything.
Okay.
And what else? We're limited to 3.
What are the other 2?
Responsible, courageous.
Benevolent. Thank you, Zach Bell.
Oh.
Controlling. And it's crazy because I always thought that was like a bad thing. But and if you think about it, a lot of leaders take, I guess some sort of initiative, but also are in control of things themselves, and they kind of help control the environment around them. Doesn't mean they do it in an asshole way like a lot of bad leaders have, but you do some sense of control to control everything beneath them and around them to help these people because everybody looks towards you for guidance. So yeah, there's some more, but yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so we can start there. That's a good way to start. Because leadership is essentially the ability to influence and guide other people, right, to a common goal. That's what a leadership is, or that's the essential piece of leadership. I think of it like of a person that has like a vision.
For you,
a person has a vision, and their vision is so clear, so strong that other people are drawn to it. Some people want to help you achieve that vision. There's the idea of also being able to delegate, giving the people that follow you or at your side the freedom to become better and the tools to do it too. Because although they can give you the tools, if they don't teach you how to use it, then it's no good. So I feel like a leader has to be a good teacher. It's like wrapped in there. You can't have somebody, somebody's a good manager, is usually because they taught you how to do the work and then they gave you the freedom to improve on whatever they taught you, or at least they gave you the building blocks.
Right.
So I think vision, delegation, and teaching are the main things. The delegation, again, is just knowing how to pick people that usually don't get along and make them become like best of friends. That comes from a strong leader, from seeing the qualities in somebody.
Diplomat.
Right, but that's also good because you need that in a family, in a head, as a head, like
to hold things together.
You and your wife or you and your partner might have your issues, but as a leader, you have to show really good vision, united vision, and what you want the family's schedule, goals, and everything to look like. When you're talking to kids, you need to be able to be a good teacher. The moment the kid discovers that you're, it either two things will happen in life, right? Either the child or the person that follows you figures out that you don't know anything or you don't know as much as you think you do, and you're not humble about it, they're going to despise you. But if you tell them, honey or baby, I don't know everything, but I am trying to learn this, you show a level of humility.
As soon as they question you, kick them out of the house. That's it.
So if you show a level of humility and you're able to pair that with why there is so much information out there, and you're able to teach them why there's like differences in ways of thinking, they would appreciate that leadership, and you've now taught them to be skeptical and to be a healthy thinker. So before I go any further, like, if you could expand on those 3 points that you think of leadership as, what would those be? Like, what made you think of leadership that way by those 3 things? Was it your parents? Was it a teacher? What influenced the way that you think about leadership?
The morals part, because you have to have some morals in it. Like, it could be your beliefs on whatever you believe. If you're religious, if you're scientific, if you're a Scientologist, you're wrong, but still.
Flatter.
Yes. That would be like the morals part. Like, you need to have like I'm not saying you need to have a religion, but like, at least follow something that like guides you and gives you like those
some
like,
ethical building blocks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it could be whatever religion you want it to be. Like even atheists, like they have their morals apparently, but that would be everybody needs them. Like me, I'm thankful for my morals because like I grew up like in a religious household, and
we're at.
There we go. We should be back now.
And we are probably back.
So there was people on Kick that were commenting they couldn't hear. So
Okay.
So
right,
you got it. You got it up and going now.
Yeah, we should be good now. I don't know if you can repeat the last 30 minutes, but
all right, guys. If you heard people on Twitter, aka
so you're
X,
talking about how drastically
headstrong you have to
headstrong be. and how you're very
headstrong. I'll take you on.
Consistent.
And don't forget stuff at all.
No, I definitely forget stuff. But yeah, no, that's the headstrong. Like I say, because like you need to know when to jump on stuff and when not to jump on stuff. Like, yeah, that's basically like my explanations of my 3.
Okay, so those are the qualities that you admire most about leadership, and those, I mean, they make you think the most about leadership, and that's what motivated you to get that idea. It was from the religious upbringing and from your father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only my father,
Whack.
not only my father, like the father figures around me. I had multiple.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, it like my dad is my number 1, but
number
I've
one.
had yes, like I had multiple.
So because of the religious upbringing, there was people in the religion that you looked up to.
Yes.
As father figures.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I mean, we would call the main guy. Like everybody was like the elders were called fathers, and like,
they call him Jefe for some reason.
we did call him a jefe, and then like it was always white powder everywhere. It was really good white powder too. But yeah, that's
tasty apparently.
Yeah, like to this day, I always take care of my sacred underwear. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Tenna, what qualities, again, those 3 for those people that might have not heard you?
He listed off
Do you
like 20.
consider?
I listed off like a lot.
Okay, so inconsistency. Okay, and what else?
No, there's a whole bunch.
Bad memory.
I think especially when it comes to being a leader, like there's a difference between being a leader and a good leader, but definitely a protector. And it doesn't, with most of these things, almost all, it doesn't just mean physically. It can be like mentally too as well. You want to make sure everybody's still mentally strong and protected, and not breaking. But you want to protect your family or your people however you can.
Wait, let me pause that real quick. I'm sorry, but I want to know, and I'm sure people out there are going to be curious. For your qualities, they are very deeply seated. Mm-hmm. And because you've opened up in other episodes about how you grew up in a household where you really a dad figure, of a solid father figure wasn't around. Where did you see these qualities, and what made you adopt those as like leadership traits that you like?
Honestly, like the world, movies, people's experiences. I used to look up to one like, can't say dad, but for a little while it was because like my mom would talk about, my biological father, like he had all these good traits. And after a while, like when people started doing a little bit of, too many inconsistent or bad things or qualities I didn't like, I would look on to somebody else. So I would look at, celebrities, at different types of famous people like Will Smith, The Rock,
the movie that always hits me hard.
Reeves, or just stuff in movies and shows that I thought liked, it just made sense to me. Like if it clicked and I feel like that's something that you should have, then, I just started making my own, I guess, father figure or ideal man or something like that, if, and I would see how things like that would act in the real world and pay attention, how people were treating, certain people, whether it be negatively or positively. And then I just pretty much kind of forever build, how I feel a leader should be or a man should be. And that's kind of what I stuck with, because I learned when I used to stick with one, I think a lot of people do that, but it's like you can make your own, you can be who you want to be. And I'll try to incorporate a lot, and just see.
When you said about the movies, like how you got actors, the one that I think taught me a lot of life lessons that still to this day hits me really hard, and I can't watch it because like I get so emotional, is The Pursuit of Happiness by Will Smith. Like that movie right there, bro. Like that movie, like it portrays what it takes for a father to do what he has to do, and like that makes me think like so much. I'm like. Damn, like I'm watching like what my father went through, like it just it opens up your eyes so much, like what other people can't see, because like his son, like his son only knows like a little bit of stuff. He's still young, so like it shows the backstory of like what he had to do to do what he had to do,
That's why I've always liked Will Smith as a person too. Just like the song "Just the Two of Us," that one hits like so much. but just the stuff that he's been through and the way he still portrayed himself, and then being in, yes, this toxic relationship that he's been in for so long, and still holding himself to like as high as a standard as he can until the slap happened. But
hey,
things,
Jada still loves Tupac. I mean, Will Smith. All right?
Things happen, but I just try to I always kept myself open with with a grain of salt to just keep forever expanding, which I think it's kind of made it difficult, but at the same time, really good, because I don't think everybody's really had like the perfect father or the most ideal. It's just whatever they were taught at the time. And I just like, why can't, take a little bit of here from everything and kind of see how everything works. So yeah, it was a long building process, but I think it helped out, and it kind of humbles me and helps me out when I'm in situations with my kids, and I want to be stubborn and just fall back to probably what I experienced or didn't experience. I'm like, you still got time to change. You can change your mind, whether they call it inconsistent or not. Like we forever change and we learn, and if you feel like there's a better way, then then do it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good examples out there from a lot of men out there. So yeah, that's where I get my even friends, families, aunts, uncles, all that kind of stuff.
But was there ever one person that, as far as you look back in your history, when you think of the word leadership, this face always comes to mind first, or it's among the top faces or the top people that you recognize as leaders? Have you ever had that? Whether it be a sergeant or friend?
I'm very humble. You don't have to say my name. It's fine. Like I know you can go.
I just met you last week, but yeah, you're one of them.
But you met me last week, but I've been in your life.
That's true.
Remember that one time that you thought somebody was looking through your window?
It was me.
It was me. Yeah.
No, I can't say that. To me, there would be multiple, if any. Like I didn't have, it used to be my brothers until things started happening. And I learned to kind of take the best of what they had and them doing what they had to do. Coaches, teachers, there's like a whole bunch.
So you don't have one person that you can point to?
That's what I'm like, because I honestly always felt like I didn't have one. But then when I thought about it after a while, I kind of had multiple, just enough in a situation that kind of kept me going. But overall, one big one, no. As far as celebrities, when it comes to fake or anything, I'll probably the closest will probably be Will Smith. I'm gonna be honest. Other than that, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, but
except he really sucks at flying helicopters.
Who?
Well, anyways,
it's because I like him that offends me.
Okay, that's cool. But, I mean, when you talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would get offended.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Wow, well, good, because I don't really care about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But yeah, that's where I got those. That's where I got, I guess, my father figure thing for a leader or whatnot. So yeah, protecting.
But you never had a leader that was female that you looked up to?
My mom would have probably been.
Funny how you never mentioned her, even though we talk about leaders. You're immediately male centric. Look at you. Do better.
Well, I feel like my mom, the biggest thing.
Even though he literally said name the father figures,
No,
but I guess nowadays
I didn't
matter.
say that to him.
No, you literally said that to him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I did. You're right.
But yeah, but I did get a lot of qualities from her, especially raising 5 kids and hustling and trying new things. She did teach me a lot. When I was younger, there was a lot of things where I'm like, man, a lot of things she didn't do right. But I think it takes for when you get older, become a parent, all that, where you realize the good stuff and you don't focus too much on all the negative or whatnot, but because raising kids.
Well, as a teenager, you always focus on the negative, and then as you get older, you have the wisdom and time to say, oh, damn, they did a lot.
Or
good.
You should, hopefully, or at least you try, or at some point in your life, hopefully you do that. But yeah, she definitely taught me how to work hard. Her and my grandfather too as well. So, but yeah, so provider. I think in all aspects too, like I said, like my mom or parents, definitely you want to provide, and you don't have to provide with the best all the time. I think we kind of
at least provide the milk. Don't say you're gonna go get the milk.
At least make sure it's not expired.
Exactly.
Please, expired food is not cool.
But you don't have to. You don't have to provide the best things in life. All you need is the minimum. And I think before providing the best when it comes to materialistic stuff or food stuff, provide your time. Your time, your knowledge, all that kind of stuff, and your presence. I think you definitely want to do that. But I think it's kind of like mixing father figure and leadership, but I still think it's still equality there. And I would definitely, I know you covered morals, which is one too as well, but I want to say compassion. I think people think that being a leader, you have to be an asshole, and I don't think that's the case. I mean,
well, I think some people do. I don't think a leader is an asshole, but I think some people have this idea of
can you say asshole one more time?
Yes.
Asshole.
I love the way you say asshole. I don't know why. It turns me on. Like it really does.
I think it's a common trait in a lot of, I guess, leaders. I wouldn't say they're the best, but I think it's one thing to kind of, be that when you need it, but all the time. I think.
What do you think comes with someone who's an asshole, as you said? Why do you think they're like that?
Their leaders, their examples.
Is it because they lack humility? Because if you're humble, you have no reason to act that way, right?
I would say that, yeah, that's definitely one thing. Especially I think people get too caught up when, I guess, your way has been working for you for the most part. You kind of get too stubborn, too big-headed, and think that nobody else can tell you anything. And that humility, that was actually one of the qualities that I actually put, 2 weeks ago. Humble enough to know that you're forever learning, you're forever growing. And not only should, are people going to listen to you, but it's okay to listen to them. You're still going to be learning. So you got to know when it's not just you handling everything, other people have knowledge just like you did. Someone gave you that chance to get there, and
exactly.
So,
I mean, that's why I picked that topic, because I thought it would be really good, because everyone has leadership that they admire, or everyone can point to the news and say, this is where a country's failing because the leader won't acknowledge the problems or ignores them for their own benefit or for their own gain. But when you think about life in a sequential line of...
Give me 1 second, I gotta go be a leader.
Nope.
So in those sequential line of events, you think about the fact that a lot of people learned from somebody to be a leader. In my case, I had somebody that I looked up to that showed me that here's how you make decisions about what to learn, how to learn it. Here's how you need to be motivated. Here's how you need to have discipline. Those are all important things that not everyone considers. In your case, you were saying that your father, really, out of all the people in your life, he's the one that put the foot down.
Yeah.
But it showed you that you needed to do things that weren't easy to do and that you didn't want to do.
Yep. He was very stubborn, because my family's all stubborn. You're gonna do it, and if you can't figure it out, well, guess what? Tough shit. You're gonna have to figure it out. So it made me problem solve. It made me well, if I can't do this, then how do I make it happen? Basically. So yeah, that's how it was.
So I grew up in a single parent household, so I didn't really have that from that area. But for you, when your dad was harsh on you, and then you went to your community, whether it be religious or otherwise, and they were kind to you, how did you, maybe when you were little, you were like, I hate that I got this guy as my dad. Why couldn't I get this guy? But over time, maybe you're like, oh man, I got both technically. I got my dad at home taught me this. And how did you make sense of it?
Well, so I made sense of this because even though my dad was very tough, he was still also compassionate, so in his way, so I always felt the love from my dad as well, but.
So you had to learn your dad instead of your dad learning you.
It basically, gotcha. So which I understand what you're saying, because I would sometimes see, my friends, they'd be oh, they can go talk to their parents, and they could be having this fun time with their parents, and like I said, my dad my parents were always, they were there, but they were always working, so I always wanted that, I want them here. Yeah. In a way. Yes, exactly. But then I would see
it's what it is, but that wasn't their intention.
But then I would see that they got everything, they asked for, they would ask for, whatever it may be, right? A new Game Boy, the new PSP, whatever, they instantly got it,
Wait, who are you talking about? Just your friends?
Yeah, my friends, because his question was if I saw my church figures.
I can put it if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
So what I was letting him know was, just because he had a dad that was very hard on him, I didn't have a dad, so I don't know how that must have felt, but I can imagine close to it. He had a dad that was hard on him, taught him discipline, taught him to do things that he didn't want to do, and at the time he was also part of a very religious community. So with that, he had the other side. He had a maybe a father figure that was loving, kind, talked to me, very reasonable maybe. So when he had this duality where his dad wasn't quite that, but he was striving to be like that religiously. He was trying to be more kind and everything. He could see his dad struggle to become that guy, but it wasn't easy for him. So between those two things, this duality of two father figures, when he got home, how do you, as a kid, you're always jealous, oh, I wish I had that guy as my dad instead of mine. So how do you make sense of it as you get older?
I made sense of it. It was like I'm saying that the kids that I grew up with were very spoiled, basically like very like silver spoon kind of kids, and like I guess it's just like the way how my dad like would teach us, because like also we didn't come from money, like my parents always worked,
And
like
now you have mansions. That's crazy.
exactly right, like we didn't come from money and all that, so like it showed me, like if I ask for something, I might get something, like maybe for Christmas, maybe for my birthday. It's not gonna be what I want. It's not gonna be what I asked for, but at least he gave me something. So like it would, I guess it taught me from a young age, like he showed me that he's very hard on me because he's teaching me these lessons, So even though like I would get like compassion from like the people from church, giving me these lessons and all that, I guess it never really hit me. It never really was a lesson, like unless my dad told me, because like I guess like I just needed that, like harsh reality of like not to sugarcoat anything, like he's basically told it like how it is, so like it's
honestly,
kind of a weird combination
I
of
think
like,
it's just I just my personal opinion. I'm thinking it's because it's your father.
yeah.
And I think that's
But
kind of
like at the same time, like my dad was like I was very jealous of like my friends that they can go and talk to their parents, like I couldn't really talk to mine, because like my dad was very like like very stubborn in his own ways, and like really didn't want to hear it, even though like he would ask me about my day, stuff like that. It didn't really feel like
Genuinely
safe
caring.
enough. Yeah, it didn't really feel safe enough that I could like talk to him about stuff.
See,
like
Tenna
my
and I grew
parents.
up in a single parent household, and a lot of our friends did too. So I think we heard a lot of similar complaints from them. But the one thing now is that you have the wisdom to say, I do love my dad and I do appreciate all the things that he did
Yeah.
in his own way.
Yeah.
For us, we still struggle with the fact that we didn't really have that in our lives, but understanding to appreciate what we have, but also listening to people like you that grew up in both. It wasn't a rosy picture, even for those
Yeah.
kids that grew up like when you were a kid that made it look like they
like
had everything
just
silver
because,
spoon. I
just
bet you
because
now
you had a father doesn't mean it.
right.
Life
I bet you
been
now if
perfect.
you sit down and talk to them or ask them how was their experience growing up, you would be very shocked to find out that maybe their viewpoint is very similar to yours. But even though they have the wisdom now to say, I still love my dad, I made their life pretty hard because I was
Yeah.
acting out or whatever.
Yeah.
Because especially in a religious community, those father figures or those fathers or elders or whatever they might be titled in a religion, those people have to delegate other families. They have to be
Yep.
there for other families. So for their own kid is like, dude, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
they
here.
get neglected too as
Right.
well. Like you're choosing
And
other
maybe
people.
not intentionally, but if for a kid, it feels like it's the end of the
And
world.
you know what's crazy is I think that happens a lot. And I was in like a therapy session, a group therapy, like a couple of days ago, and that's kind of like something that's been on my mind for a long time too. I think especially when you come from a harder upbringing, broken home, toxic home, it makes it really difficult to not only love the ones you love but also teach them too as well.
Yeah.
Like I think kind of like that sense of entitlement that you're talking about is like I think that's kind of like what our generation did is we ended up like spoiling the kids, or we tend to want to spoil them some more because we were so, I guess, like neglected or didn't get anything we want. We like the lessons, but at the same time we're like, well, we can give them that too, but I think we end up over spoiling them and whatnot, and then
That's very true in my situation because
and
like my
then-
daughter's like
and then we
like
get
I s-
upset like, oh
yeah.
man, they always want this, and that's
Yeah.
our fault. We didn't
that's
we didn't want to be like too rough like it was before us because that gave us some problems. But then we overcorrected, which humans
That's
tend to
definitely
do,
true. Yep.
and now you
I hate
create
that,
this.
dude. You took care of your daughters. They think they can be doctors. They think they can be lawyers. I see the toys they have. When I was a kid, I thought I could be a Ninja Turtle. I can't be a turtle, even though I look like one. I can't be that. I can't be a G.I. Joe. I mean, I could, but
I mean, you can say you are, but
But we get unrealistic toys. We got like construction material and stuff, and then they get all like the cool ones now.
right.
But you do a lot to keep them motivated and to keep them knowing, hey, you should expand that sense of curiosity
Right.
to learn something.
Yeah.
But one thing that made me, at least realize from my mother's part is like nobody's perfect, and like that's in any role or shape or form. Like you're not perfect, even if you do things perfectly or whatnot. It's not gonna last. That's just not how life is. And like I mentioned that my mom had her flaws. She definitely had a lot, and like one of the biggest things, like yourself, like I didn't realize for a while is neglect. She was too busy providing to be present. And I think that's why it is kind of important to have at least, one parent home or at least a switch off. So that way, they're not, left alone because you're who they learn from. All they're going to learn is, just provide. And that's it. and not be there. So it's definitely important to do that. But I learned, she only did what she could do. When the other person's not there, and having 5 kids, like, you got to do all that. You don't always have the time. They're going to be exhausted. If they can, and at the same time, you should look, at their parents too as well. Like, they only learn what they've learned.
You know what I hate? Like, and I know because it's technically true. I hate it when you say the word neglect. Because
it doesn't seem like it, right? It makes it seem like you want to cry, but it's what it is. It's really what it is, but it wasn't really their intention.
Exactly. Because I hate it because it just sounds so bad, but it's so true.
Because something that taught me is I didn't know how to do these things that everybody got, being supportive, saying these right things, being there.
Why'd you point at me?
Because you're not supportive.
No, I don't like this. I don't like that he pointed at me in my direction.
So it's like we're learning these things that we should have learned back then, but it's not too late. Boo-hoo. It's better at least to try now. You know what I'm saying? There's still time. Everybody always thinks there's not enough time, or because I didn't get it. No, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? We're adults now. Do it how you feel like you should have got it. If you overcorrect, all right, correct again. There's still time. As long as there's still time, as long as you're still breathing, it's cool. But I learned to appreciate. She taught me how to work hard. Definitely taught me how to hustle and make things happen no matter what. Everything else I got to figure it out on my own.
You were a good stripper for a long time.
Same thing when it comes to
nobody
not
can
having,
helicopter the way you helicopter.
Not That's having a father figure. I'm it doesn't mean
even Kobe couldn't helicopter.
I can't step up first to contact him or anything like that to make these things go. I know but yeah, it makes it difficult. But just try to see things a little bit differently and take a step back sometimes.
Well, I think that will wrap up the leadership topic because everything has to end, like you said. And today, that's what ends that topic. I think in the future, we'll revisit it because I think there's more to touch on here.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a whole episode on its own.
Yeah, leadership is an important quality that everyone needs. And I think everyone, I saw Dune. I'm not going to go any deeper, but I just want you guys to know I'm a big fan of Dune. And the reason why people fall for the Messiah complex, why you search for a strong leader, is because you lack the ability to usually lead yourself. You want someone to be able to make decisions for you. You want to believe that they're smarter and wiser than you are. And sometimes that may be true, but it doesn't mean that has to be that way forever. You can make improvements in your own life. But leadership is a very important quality. It enhances your ability to have discipline, your ability to be curiously healthy about, or healthy. You
got it. The words
curious, or curiously healthy about different subjects. I messed that up, but you know what I'm saying.
I got it.
I am starting to stutter.
It's
I think that's a sign that I need to go home and eat and sleep. So that's it for me. Go ahead. You guys want to?
With that, guys, thank you for watching this episode of Preferences and References. It is I Demonic with Tana.
Tana. Thank you guys very much.
Once again, guys, we are live. We're trying to do every Monday. So far, we've been good at it. Every Mondays, we're live on Rumble. We're live on X. We're live on